They called her the she-wolf of France, but history remembers her as something far more dangerous, a queen who broke the rules, toppled a king, and nearly ruled an empire. In the 14th century, Isabelle of France, married to England's Edward II, watched her husband fall under the influence of corrupt favorites, while her kingdom suffered. But she didn't stay silent. She fled, found a lover, raised an army, and returned not as a queen, but as a conqueror. This is the story of one of the boldest coups in medieval history. A woman who didn't just steal a crown, she rewrote the rules of power. 1. The unhappy queen. Isabelle of France was born into royalty, the daughter of King Philip IV, and raised in a world of politics, power, and expectation. At 12, she married Edward II of England, a match meant to unite nations. But from the start, their marriage was troubled. Edward showered affection not on her, but on his male favorites, first Piers Gaveston, then Hugh Despenser. Isabelle was sidelined, her counsel ignored, her status diminished. As her husband's court became corrupt and cruel, England descended into chaos. Barons rebelled, famine spread, but Isabelle watched and waited. And when the moment came, she didn't cry for help. She struck back. 2. Escape, betrayal, and a lover. In 1325, Isabelle traveled to France on a diplomatic mission, but instead of returning, she refused to come back to England, a bold, shocking act of defiance. While abroad, she formed an alliance with Roger Mortimer, a powerful English nobleman and her secret lover. Together, they plotted Edward's downfall. Isabelle sent letters to English nobles, gathering support, and raised an army in Hainaut. It wasn't just politics, it was personal. Her husband had humiliated her. Now she would bring war to his throne, not with knights in shining armor, but with whispers, gold, and a plan. 3. The Queen invades. In 1326, Isabelle and Mortimer landed in England with a modest force, but the kingdom was ready to turn. As they marched south, Edward's support crumbled. Even his own barons refused to fight. Cities surrendered. Hugh Despenser, the hated royal favorite, was captured and brutally executed, his body mutilated in public. Edward fled but was eventually captured and imprisoned. For the first time in English history, a sitting king had been deposed by his queen. Isabelle wasn't just victorious, she was in control, ruling as regent through her teenage son, Edward III. She had done what no woman before had dared. 4th, Edward's grisly end. Imprisoned and powerless, Edward II was held at Berkeley Castle. Officially, he died of natural causes in 1327, but rumors swirled. Some said he was smothered. Others whispered he was killed by a red-hot poker, an act of humiliation meant to echo his relationships with male favorites. One chronicler claimed Isabelle sent his embalmed heart to Mortimer in a box, a gruesome token of love and victory. Whether fact or legend, Edward's fate sent a clear message. Isabelle would not be crossed. Her coup was complete, but her reign was far from secure. 5. Power, paranoia, and the fall. As regent, Isabelle ruled England with Mortimer at her side, but power quickly became paranoia. Mortimer began acting like a king, awarding himself titles and riches. The barons who once supported Isabelle now feared her rule, and her son, Edward III, had grown wise. In 1330, he staged a coup of his own, arresting Mortimer and taking the throne. Mortimer was hanged. Isabelle was spared, but forced into retirement. Though her reign ended in disgrace, her legacy endured. She was a woman who challenged kings, broke dynasties, and ruled in a world that said she couldn't. The she-wolf of France had left her mark. Isabelle of France wasn't just a queen, she was a force of history. Her story proves that behind every throne, power can take unexpected shapes. In a world built for kings, she wrote her own rules: love, betrayal, and conquest. Hers is a tale as brutal and unforgettable as any legend.